Hello. Are we live? I cannot tell. I think we are though. I think I accidentally started the stream in the wrong orientation and I can't change it now. Like if I try to make it sideways, it's not gonna work. So just gonna go for it this way. Hello. Hi Mom. Thanks for being here. Just gonna wait for hopefully some more people to come in before I really say or do anything. How you doing? Hey Harms. Thank you guys for being here. The stream technically wasn't scheduled to start until like now, like a minute or two in, but thank you so much, Harmony. Hey, what's up, Luke? Thanks for joining. It's good to see you here. Thanks, Harmony. That means a lot. I really appreciate it. I wouldn't be here without all of you guys, obviously, especially your support, my family and friends, you know, the people I actually know. I mean, I appreciate the people I don't actually know too, though. Don't get me wrong, all my viewers, I appreciate you guys a lot. But yeah, the people who know me, who've supported me, it means a lot. What's up, Mike? Thanks for being here, man. What's up, Dad? Man, everyone's here. This is awesome. This is great. So yeah, basically, the whole point of this stream, honestly, I don't really have a plan for it to like say or do anything specifically. What's up, Zooters? How's it going? But yeah, I just wanted to do this stream to say thank you to everyone. Thanks for the congrats, Zooters. I just want to say thank you to everyone for watching my videos, for subscribing. I'm super grateful. I'm super excited for what the future holds. And yeah, besides from that, just hang out with you guys, just chat with you guys, read all your messages, and it's a Q&A stream, so if any of you guys have any questions you want to ask about the channel, about coasters, or just about me, just drop them, and I'm reading them, and I'll respond. So yeah, if there's anyone here who has any questions, wants any insights into the channel or anything, I'm just chilling here in my backyard. So what's up, Rachel? How's it going? But yeah, it's a nice day. It's like 60 or 70 degrees out, I think. So I'm enjoying myself. Haven't been on any coasters in like, trying to think, in like a week actually. I was at like Magic Mountain last week with one of my sisters, but so it hasn't been that long. It's just funny, like when I'm going on trips and riding coasters every single day, sometimes it does feel like a week without coasters is a long time. So Harmony asks, after the Florida trip, what is my next big plan, and am I going to do any trips like that in the future? So what I have to say to that right now is that I don't have any specific plan locked in. Like, I'm not like, this is what I'm doing, I know for sure. But I have trips that I like know I want to take at some point in the future. So like, I guess a smaller one that I'm definitely planning on is going up north and doing Six Flags Discovery Kingdom in California's Great America again, because for those who don't know, I am planning on moving out of California pretty soon here, hopefully, and so I would like to hit those parks again before I move. And so with those, I'm gonna try to hit those Gilroy Gardens and Santa Cruz Boardwalk because I haven't been to Santa Cruz Boardwalk or Gilroy Gardens yet, and I'm missing a credit at Discovery Kingdom and at California's Great America. One ride each was closed. So that's my next one I'm probably going to take before anything else. And yeah, as my dad just commented, Holiday World is definitely one that I want to prioritize. Once I move out east, I definitely want to do a trip where we hit up Kentucky Kingdom, Holiday World, maybe Beach Bend, some other parks in Indiana and Kentucky, and then Kings Island and Cedar Point, hopefully. So yeah, those are definitely the two biggest priorities. Another priority is to eventually get to Pennsylvania, get to Hershey Park. There's a lot of parks in Pennsylvania I haven't been to yet. But yeah, congrats on 2,500 rides on Fury, Mike. That's awesome. I don't think I've ridden any ride more than 100 or 200 times probably. So the fact that you've ridden that 2,500 times is just crazy, man. Good job, I guess. I'm glad you enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. I mean, I think I've ridden Fury like a solid 50 or 60 times, so I'm almost there to 2,500. Have you ridden West Coaster? I have. As far as where it ranks, it doesn't really. I don't know how to explain it. It's like it's like a kiddie coaster. That's the thing I can compare it to most. It's basically, if my memory serves me correctly, a helix, a little like wimpy airtime bump, and then a turn. So I would say it's a credit, and that's it. I haven't ridden it in like 10 years though. My dad actually took us to ride it back in the day. It was pretty close to where my grandpa lives, so we would get Tommy Burger and go there, and it was a lot of fun. Good memories there. It's been a while though, but yeah, when I was a kid, I loved it. But as of right now, I probably wouldn't even rank it in my top 1 or 200. But yeah, it is a really cool location. The boardwalk's really nice. It's really fun. All the lights and everything, especially at night. I love doing like boardwalks and fairs at night. Like Belmont Park at night's great too. Uh, yeah, Kennywood and Knoebels are definitely both gonna happen when Pennsylvania happens. I definitely want to go to both those parks a lot, and also I want to go to Waldameer, and I was saying Hershey Park as well. All priorities for sure. Yeah, that's okay, Rachel. Most people don't have the time or the resources to ride rides that many times. Like for me, the only reason I've ridden like Twisted Colossus or X2 so many times is because I go to Magic Mountain all the time. Same thing for Mike. You know, he's got Fast Lane and he can just go to Carowinds and just ride Fury all day sometimes. So that's why he's able to do it. So Luke asks me what my favorite park is. The one, and if there's one that impressed me that I didn't expect. Okay, so I think that I kind of have two favorite parks. Like for roller coasters, purely just roller coasters, Cedar Point, 100% is the best park I've been to. Steel Vengeance is insane. Millennium Force is a great Giga coaster. I haven't ridden Top Thrill Dragster, so I would imagine it's even better with that. But all the rides that are great, Magnum, all that. So for just coasters, 100% Cedar Point. But overall, like theming, food, services, all that, Islands of Adventure is by far the best. Like their ride operations are insane. Their food was super good. Velocicoaster is amazing. Hulk's amazing. They have the best water rides. W Do Rides Ripsaw Falls is just the most ridiculous and wacky log ride, and I love it. So for sure, I would say Cedar Point for roller coasters, Islands of Adventure for the whole package. And for a park that impressed me that I didn't expect, honestly, I try to go into most parks without expectations, but I will say Six Flags America was way better than I expected because everyone says it's like the worst Six Flags park out there. And when I went, I didn't have that experience. I'm not going to say it's great. It's not ran great or anything, but Batwing and Superman are both amazing rides. Like Batwing is a really fun flyer, and Superman's a great hyper coaster. So yeah, Six Flags America definitely surpassed expectations by a lot. Hey, what's up, Charged on PC? Thanks for being here, man. It's good to see ya. Yeah, Rachel, I mean, gas is tough. Like, for me, when I go to Magic Mountain, it's like 2.5 hours away, so it's like anywhere from 60 to 100 bucks in gas when I go, so I get that for sure. Silver Dollar City ranking. Time Traveler, number one. Outlaw Run, number two. Wildfire, number three. Powder Keg, number four. What other rides they have there? Fire in the Hole number five, and the Grand Exposition number six. I think that's all their coasters. I think I got them all. I think they only have six. They don't have seven, right? I don't think they have seven. You can let me know if I missed one. And if you're not talking about the rides, if you're just talking about where I would place it in my parks, it's probably top 10 or top 15. I definitely think Dollywood's better, which for some reason seems like an unpopular opinion. Like, I feel like a lot of people prefer Silver Dollar City, but the 1-2 punch of Thunderhead and Lightning Rod's too good. But I still think Silver Dollar City's great. It's a small park, and it feels that way, but they still have amazing rides, which is what's really great about it. So, yeah, but no, Silver Dollar City's great. The rides there are great. Time Traveler's ridiculous. I absolutely love Time Traveler. Time Traveler, I think, is in my top 20, maybe top 15. I know it's a great ride, though, for sure. But yeah, as you guys can see, I'm wearing this Ghost Rider shirt. I talked about it when I was at Carowinds on the trip last month. Mike made me this shirt, so I don't know if you're still in here, Mike, but I still love it and still wear it and appreciate it, so thank you for that. Hulk or Hagrid's? I definitely think that I would rank Hagrid's above Hulk because Hulk is intense, but it is a little bit rough. Like Hagrid's is butter smooth and it's a bit longer and just more fun. I don't know, like Hulk has the theming in the queue and in the tunnel, but past that, you just get back into the station and I mean, it's not like there's anything on the actual ride that's going to be theming, you know, like immersing you in the ride. It's just like a B&M looper. There's obviously onboard audio, but you know what I mean. Versus Hagrid's, the whole experience is like really well themed. I don't want to spoil surprises if there's anyone here who doesn't know them, but all the different things you go through, all the different elements in the onboard audio and everything, and even just like the sound of the motorbike engines, there's just something about it that's great. So I would definitely say I prefer Hagrid's over Holt. Tennessee Tornado isn't the best at Dollywood, but it's a sleeper hit. I agree. Tennessee Tornado is awesome. I love Tennessee Tornado. That ride is one of the best air loopers. It's very smooth, and it has a great drop. I'm glad you like my shirt, Mom. It's great. Mike made it for me. The tunnel on Hulk is cool for sure. I enjoy it. I definitely think Hagrid's is better. Compared to most wooden coasters, how does Ghost Rider rank? This is a good one because I kind of have a controversial opinion on Ghost Rider, because this is the thing, is most people who have ridden Ghost Rider, it's like they ride all these wooden coasters all around, and then they come and they ride Ghost Rider and they only get like 1 or 2 rides on it or whatever. And so for them, it's like a really special thing to get to ride Ghost Rider, you know, because everyone says it's a good ride and they don't get to ride it all the time. But for me, I live so close, so it doesn't feel special to ride it, you know what I mean? Like, it just feels like, oh yeah, I'm just going to ride Ghost Rider. Like, same thing, like if I go to Magic Mountain, like, oh yeah, I'm just going to ride Twisted Colossus or whatever. But for someone else, that would be amazing, right? So for me, this is what I think about Ghost Rider. I think it's a great ride. I think it's the best ride in Knott's Berry Farm. I think it's a good wooden coaster. I definitely think it has pretty weak airtime and is not super intense. The strengths about Ghost Rider is it's super smooth, super long, and at night it's amazing because you're flying under the support structure, and it's fast too. It just doesn't have the most insane forces. There's like 1 or 2 actually good like Flowjector airtime moments. The rest of it's kind of weak, but it's a great ride. I'm not going to say it's bad. I definitely think people overhype it a little bit. I think most GCIs are better than it, but it's a great ride. It has a classic layout, so that's what I think about Ghost Rider. And yeah, Hagrid's is great. Tennessee Tornado is great. Yeah, I agree. All great rides. But yeah, Ghost Rider is great. I mean, I used to kind of have a worse opinion of it. I used to think that it was just kind of mid. I don't think it's mid anymore, just after riding it more and just like really thinking about it. Because like I said, the more you ride something, the less insane it is. Like, there's been times where I've thought X2 was like not really in my top 5 anymore because I've ridden it so many times. But then I just think like, okay, I'm dumb, dude. Like, X2 is insane. And then I'll go get on riding it, and it's like, yeah, it's insane. Like, X2 is great. It's still my number 3 coaster, even after riding 350 plus credits now. Favorite GCI? That's tough because a lot of them are really amazing, but I've said this ever since I rode it, and I still agree. Mystic Timbers, I think, is the best. And for number 2 and number 3, I would have to give it to Prowler at Worlds of Fun and Gold Striker at California's Great America. Prowler is severely underrated. Prowler's basically just a mini version of Mystic Timbers. So yeah, Mystic Timbers at Kings Island, just insane layout, insanely well paced, amazing ejector airtime. Ghost Rider versus Gold Striker. Definitely Gold Striker. Like I was saying before, I prefer most GCIs just because of their intensity that they have, and they're a little bit rougher, which I actually like. Like, I know a lot of people don't like that, but when I go on a wooden coaster, I'm not looking for like a buttery smooth ride, you know? I want to get like something where you can feel like this is a wooden coaster, like it feels a little bit out of control, you know? Not janky or painful or anything, but still a little bit of fun. But yeah, Gold Striker has a better drop than Ghost Rider in my opinion because it's fully enclosed, not just like a little roof over the top, but fully enclosed. And it has a turn at the bottom, so you get some really good positives and laterals. And there's just so many snaps. Like, for example, what I was saying about Ghost Rider earlier, there's no crazy transitions on Ghost Rider. It's just like, you know, classic wooden layout. But Gold Striker, you're going to be flung this way, flung that way. You got double downs, all kinds of crazy snaps. So I would definitely say I prefer Gold Striker. But it's not like by a huge margin. I think it's like 5 spots higher. Oh yeah, Mike, you definitely underrate Fury. I will say Fury's not like a top 5 ride for me, but it's also not like whatever. Like, it's definitely top 10. Like, it's great. It's the second best Giga after i305 for me, for sure. Oh yeah, Dad, Mystic Timbers at night is just absolutely insane. I freaking love Mystic Timbers at night. It's even better than at day, obviously, because you can't see anything, so the laterals just hit so much harder. What are my thoughts on Roar at Six Flags America? My thoughts are they need to RMC it because Joker at Six Flags Discovery Kingdom was a clone of Roar before, and then they RMC'd it, and it's an amazing ride. Like, Joker's in my top 50. It's great. So I want them to RMC it because when I was there, it wasn't that rough in the sense of just like jackhammering you, like shaking you. But for some reason, like the way the trains were, it was weird. It kept like slamming my shins into the trains. And it's like, it's PTC trains, and that doesn't happen with all of them, so I don't know what it was. I just think there was like shaking front and back, not left and right or up and down like most wooden coasters are. So it was like a different kind of roughness, and it's not really forceful at all either. So, I mean, I didn't really enjoy it. I think if they RMC'd it, it'd be an elite ride. So, what do you think Cedar Fair could have done to make Orion better? Um, Honestly, just the first two elements are a complete waste of height and speed. Like, in my opinion, that first wave turn and first turnaround, complete waste. Like, there's basically no airtime on the wave turn, and like it doesn't really give me any positives or laterals either. You just kind of exist. I don't know. Same thing for the turnaround. Like, a lot of turnarounds, you get up there and you like get flung. Like on Fury's turnaround, you get snapped to the right and then snapped to the left, right? But on Orion's turnaround, you just kind of go through the turn gracefully. You know what I mean? I feel like they could have just made it more intense. Like, after those two elements, the speed hill and the airtime hill and the helix, all that's great. The whole ride's great. Just those first two elements are so wasted. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like they could have done so much more. So honestly, if they changed those first two elements, I feel like it could have been a lot better. Can I make a video where I rank my top coasters? Yeah, I'm gonna do that once a year. So I don't know if you've seen around New Year's this last year. So around like the first or second week of January, I think I did my top 50 roller coasters from this last year, and at the end of this year I'll do it again. So I know that's kind of a while away, it's like 6 months away, but I don't want to do it more than once a year because I feel like then it would just be like I'm making the same video over and over again. I have gotten a lot of new credits though. You know, a video I do plan on doing though, and maybe this will help you, I do plan on doing my like top 10 from Florida or something like that eventually. So yeah, I definitely want to rank my Florida coasters, so you'll see that. But yeah, I'm not going to do like my top 10 or top 25 or top 50 like all the time. Probably just once a year. Yeah, it's crazy Charged on PC because like the first upload I ever did on this channel, I think was like the last week of July or the first week of August, something like that. It was just like a Michael Rosen meme just for fun. But then I like started vlogging in August, but it's crazy because it feels like it wasn't that long ago, but it was almost a year ago now. Like, we're about to hit a year on this channel. But I mean, the amount we've been able to accomplish in that amount of time has been pretty good. Like, I definitely appreciate all you guys watching the videos and supporting me. And yeah, I mean, hopefully the goal is to eventually be able to monetize this channel and be able to eventually down the line make it into a living. I know that might not be the most realistic, but if that could happen, all that would mean is more videos for you guys and me to get to enjoy my life a lot more because I wouldn't have to work a normal job. So that would be pretty cool. For now, I've actually hit the requirements for monetization, but I don't feel like making you guys watch a bunch of ads for me to make like $5 or less off of a video. So I'm not going to monetize yet, but that'll happen eventually, hopefully. Yeah, it's a good coaster. Are you talking about Orion, right, Rachel? It's a good coaster, but not really good Giga because of the lack of the intensity. Yeah, i305 and Fury are both more intense and have more airtime somehow, so it's just like everything better. So yeah. Zooter Loopers. Speaking of Florida coasters, I need thoughts on Pipeline. So for Pipeline, it's way better than I expected it to be. I expected it to be like better than the other stand-ups, but not great. And it was great. I definitely don't think it's like top 10 or even top 25, but it's also like not just mid either. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, the airtime on it's great. I love the way the seats move. Like, you get a couple seconds of airtime on a couple of those elements. So I loved Pipeline. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Mako was closed when I was there, so it was definitely the best ride in the park, like by far, not even close. I mean, Manto was great, Icebreaker was cool, but Pipeline definitely blew my expectations out of the water. It was awesome. That's weird if you're getting ads charged on PC. I don't know. If you're getting ads, that's strange for sure, because I haven't turned ads on. So if you're getting ads, then that's just YouTube pulling some shenanigans, because I'm pretty sure if the creator doesn't monetize, there's not supposed to be ads, but I could be wrong. It could just be YouTube. I'll figure it out, though, down the road. Honestly, for now, I just don't want to monetize because I really appreciate your guys' time and respect your guys' time. And like I was saying before, I don't want to like make you guys watch ads if it's not really going to benefit me, you know? Like, I'm not going to make that much. Like, in a year, I would probably only make like a couple $100 or less at this point from monetizing. And so I would rather just wait until it's actually going to like give me real money that I can actually use and invest into my coaster adventures, you know? Because right now, if I monetize, it wouldn't really benefit me much, and you guys would just have to watch ads on all my videos, you know? And so I don't really want to do that yet. But I appreciate the willingness that you would be fine with me monetizing, because it's going to happen eventually. It's just, I think I'm going to hold off for now. But thank you for that. Okay, Iron Gwazi or Twisted Timbers? This is one that I thought about, and I feel like I haven't reached a decision yet. I've been thinking about it for sure though, because like Twisted Timbers is a ride that I expected to be great, and then it ended up being my number two at the time. Like it was super great. And then Iron Gwazi is a ride that I expected to be like way beyond Twisted Timbers, like my new number one, like awesome. And then I rode it, and it was like, it was all right, you know, like it wasn't just all right. Iron Gwazi was good, it was great, but it wasn't anything like what I expected or like what people described, you know? Like, people describe here that you go on Iron Gwazi and it's just trying to rip you apart. Like, it's just some super insane sustained airtime. The death roll just tries to tear you out of your seat, all that. When I rode it, it was like just like average RMC forces. That's kind of what it felt like to me. So, honestly, when it comes to like how I felt after the ride, I probably enjoyed Twisted Timbers more because it was way better than I expected. But I mean, Iron Gwazi is probably a better ride. I feel like there's more airtime on Twisted Timbers, though. Here's what I'll say. I need to go back and get on Twisted Timbers, and hopefully I'll do that soon. I should be within like 4 or 5 hours of Kings Dominion once I move. And then once that happens, I will update you guys on what I think. You get ad shenanigans on everything? Okay, maybe YouTube just runs ads even if small creators aren't monetized then. I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, I got I305 saying shenanigans. Yeah, it's funny because, yeah, I told him that one time and he was like, why are you saying shenanigans? And I'm like, because it's shenanigans. That's what's happening. Like, that's how I explain it. Yeah, you get slammed with ads too, huh? Yeah, I don't know. That's weird. I'm from West Virginia. No, I'm not. I live in California right now. I live in San Diego. About an hour from Knott's, about 45 minutes from SeaWorld, about 2.5 hours from Magic Mountain. But I'm trying to get moved out east. I've been wanting to do it for a while. It just hasn't been able to happen. YouTube puts ads on non-monetized channels videos so you can monetize it and it wouldn't change. Okay. If it will literally be the exact same, I'm going to look into it. I'm going to do research. If it's going to be the same as it already is now, then might as well. Maybe I just won't do mid-roll ads. Maybe I'll just have ads at the start of the videos if that's already what YouTube does. Because I don't want to put mid-rolls and then have people click off the video midway through, you know? Like, eventually, once I get bigger, I could put mid-rolls because I would actually have a larger audience. But right now, I don't want to do that. So maybe I'll just put ads at the start. Charged on PC says, I didn't like Twisted Timbers as much after riding Lightning Rod. The sense of speed doesn't reach the same level. Yeah, so Twisted Timbers isn't the tallest, fastest, biggest, or longest. And that's what I like, is it doesn't try to be. It just freaking throws you around in every way possible. It takes what it had before, Hurler, which was a piece of crap, and just makes it something amazing. So I still love Twisted Timbers for that, for sure. It has some of the most insane airtime on it out of any ride. You thought Twisted was better and you rode it Sunday? Okay, I would trust Mike then. I think that's fair to say then that Twisted Timbers, at least from our crazy experience with Iron Gwazi, is better. I mean, we got a pretty scuffed experience though. We only got a total of 3 rides across 2 days and it was running slow. So I guarantee you it'll change once we ride it more. We'll get more rides on Gwazi and it'll probably be better, especially if we get night rides. Yeah, that's what Zooters are saying. Come to Florida and get a good ride on Gwazi. I'm not going to move to Florida, but once I'm out east, I'll definitely come visit Florida, hopefully once or twice a year. If it's like driving distance, there's no reason not to. Like, where I want to live, I would hopefully be within driving range of like Ohio, Georgia, Tennessee, Virginia, Florida, all those places. So should be good. I absolutely need a redemption ride. You're right. I tried to give Gwazi a redemption ride and then it broke down and then I only got 2 rides that day and they were weak sauce as well. I have not ridden Formula Rosa Planet Moolah. I've never been outside of the U.S. for coasters. I've been to Mexico before, but that was when I was younger, and I didn't go there for coasters. So, yeah, I want to travel eventually, like years and years down the line when I have money in my life together. But, yeah, eventually I want to go to Asia, and I want to go to Europe and a bunch of other places. But for now, yeah, I have not been to Abu Dhabi Ferryland, or whatever that park's called. I'm drawing a blank right now. The Gwazi curse strikes again. Yeah, it struck Mike when he didn't go with me, and then both times we went, it struck again. Top 3 RMCs. Okay, so Air Force 1, Steel Vengeance, Twisted Timbers. I think that's top 3 for sure. Twisted Timbers is awesome. I just like Lightning Rod better. So Twisted Timbers is the best coaster for airtime, you're saying? Because I feel like I could agree with that. Like, when I rode Twisted Timbers, what I had to say about it was it had stronger airtime even than, like, Steel Vengeance. Just the reason I didn't place it above Steel Vengeance is because Steel Vengeance has a way better drop and is a longer ride, you know, and has more variety, I guess. Well, I don't know if it has more variety, actually, because Twisted Timbers has just so many different elements. The only repetitious part of it are those camelbacks. Like, the Outer Bank is ridiculous on that ride. The inversions are all great. But no, I definitely still would prefer Steel Vengeance because the drop is just so much better on Steel Vengeance. It's almost twice as tall and it's straight down. Like, the barrel down drop is cool and all, but I think it's kind of gimmicky. Air Force One is the best air. Yeah, I agree in a sense because there's more airtime moments on Twisted Timbers. So, like, I guess you would get more bang for your buck. Like, I feel like Twisted Timbers has, like, what, like 18, 20 airtime moments? But Air Force One has the strongest airtime. That's where you are correct. Air Force One's airtime is the absolutely most ridiculous airtime I've ever experienced. It feels like your legs are literally going to get ripped off when you're riding that ride. And I love it so much, especially on the double up. Like, a lot of those airtime moments are super strong and sustained, but that double up just feels like you're just going to fly out and die. You haven't been on Steel Vengeance? Dude, you need to get up to Cedar Point. Cedar Point is, like, just something else. Like they say in the advertisements, it's a place like no other, dude. Like, their coasters are just elite there, man. You gotta go, for sure. If the boss gets RMC treatment, would you prefer Alan Schulke or Joe Draves? Well, I'm pretty sure Alan Schulke's done, so I think it's going to be Joe Draves either way. But that would be my preference, too. Because Joe Draves built Air Force One and Wildcat's Revenge, and those rides look like they're some of the more insane RMCs. So, like, I feel like Alan Schulke designed rides with, like, the way that he would think, like, oh, okay, this will be enjoyable for everyone. And I feel like Joe Draves designed them as, like, I love roller coasters. How would I design the best roller coaster, right? So I feel like that's how I see them doing it, and I feel like Joe Draves would do a more insane ride, for sure. I should ride Gale Force. Yeah, I definitely want to ride Gale Force. I want to do all those boardwalks in New Jersey next time I'm there. I know there's a couple places, and I want to do them all. I want to get on the SLC. I want to do all that. Steely better than Gwazi. 100% Steel Vengeance is better. Yo, what's up, Junior? Yes, I saw that Airtime Thrills video, Luke. I loved that video. I thought it was awesome. I thought it was hilarious. It's funny because his reaction was very similar to my dad's. Like, my dad was like, I love the ride, but, like, that quad down at the end is too much. And, like, it was starting to hurt his legs, too. And I thought that was funny because it reminded me of exactly what my dad thought. And his reaction to Hurricane, too. Like, he got off Hurricane the first time, was just like, oh, those transitions so bad. My dad ended up hating it, though, by the end of the day. But Airtime Thrills wrote it again and liked it. But, yeah, no, that video was great. I rode it 11 or 12 times, Air Force One, and honestly, my legs weren't done in that bad. But like I was saying, imagining for a guy Chris's age and all that, yeah, I could imagine the pain for sure. The pacing on Wildcat is so good. Yeah, I want to ride Wildcat so bad. I'm jealous that you got to go ride it. It looks so good. Yeah, Mike, Hurricane was so stupid. So if you guys don't know what we're talking about, Hurricane is a ride at Fun Spot Atlanta, and I believe it's an E&F miler, high miler coaster, and basically it looks like it was built in Roller Coaster Tycoon. Like, you know how most roller coasters, the transitions for, like, turns, like, slowly, like, smoothly change out like that? On Hurricane, it literally just goes kink, and then turns, and then kink, like that. And so every single freaking turn just slams you to the side. It's ridiculous. It looks like a kid built it in Roller Coaster Tycoon. Where do you think Wildcat will rank? Well, this is what I think. I think that if it is, like you guys were describing it, like a little bit too intense, like just so intense that even some people couldn't enjoy it, it's probably going to rank high for me because I love absolutely ridiculously intense rides that try to tear you apart. So I would say probably above Iron Gwazi, maybe above Twisted Timbers and Steel Vengeance, probably not above Air Force. So I think it'll be either my number 2 or number 3 RMC most likely. So probably in my top 10 overall roller coasters. Like, it's hard to say without riding it, though, because you never know. Like, Air Force One, I expected it to be worse than Steel Vengeance and Iron Gwazi just from the way it looked. But then I rode it, and it was ridiculous. So it's hard to say based off of what other people have said, because I feel like I have very different opinions from most people, you know? Like, most people would say Fury is the best Giga because it is intense and has good airtime, and I ride Fury and I'm like, it has good airtime, but I don't feel the intensity. Like, it's not intense to me, it's just turns, you know, versus i305 freaking pulls some mad G's and snaps you, and so I'm like, that is intense. It sure doesn't have the great airtime, but it's intense. So yeah, a blacksmith literally made the track. Are you sure, Mike? Is that, have you fact checked that? No. If that's the case, that's hilarious. What is the most intense roller coaster I've ridden? I have 3 answers because they're all intense in different ways. X2 is the most intense I've ridden in the sense of you just don't know what's happening. You can never prepare yourself. You're never ready. It just like hits and it's different, dude. Like it throws you around in all different kinds of ways that you can never expect or predict. And every time I ride it, it still shocks me with how insane it is. When it comes to just pure G-force, i305 is 100% the most intense I've ridden. Just freaking snaps you on the turns, and most people gray out on the turn. I grayed out once or twice, but it's a great ride. But for airtime, Air Force One's the most intense. Like all of the airtime just freaking is almost painful, or it is painful, and I enjoy that. But I could see why some people don't. But yeah, those are definitely the most intense ones. You have three answers to Gale Force, Batman, and El Toro. So I haven't ridden Gale Force. El Toro, I get that for sure. I feel like El Toro, the first drop and two airtime hills are insane, and the little end with the Rolling Thunder Hill and the S-bends are insane. But I feel like the middle of the ride kind of dies out a bit. That's why, like, when I first rode it, it like shot up to like number 2, and then over time I've realized like it's just incomplete. Like if the middle was great, like the start and end was, it'd probably be my number 1, but it just kind of dies in the middle. So yeah, I don't know. I love it, but it's like my number 4 or 5 now. I think X2 is better. I think some RMCs are better for sure. Yeah, the middle dies out for sure. 56 rides. Is the audio back? Let me know if you guys can hear me again. You guys hear me? Okay. Yeah, my cousin just tried to FaceTime me. That's what happened. So sorry about that. I'm doing this off my phone, obviously, because I'm just chilling outside. So, yeah, he tried to call me. All I was saying is, I was just reading what you guys said. I was just saying it's crazy how many rides Mike got on i305 and saying what's up to Tank Thrills. And I was also asking Charges on PC. When you're saying it's rough, but it makes it feel more intense, are you talking about Gale Force or El Toro? I see, Rachel. Yeah, that's how Mike is too. Intensity over airtime. Honestly, I feel like it can be. Like for example, a ride that has good floater airtime like a B&M Hyper, I would take a ride that has like super intense moments like Maverick or like i305 over it, right? But then there's rides like Air Force One where it has intense airtime, and that's what my favorite thing is intense airtime. Like on El Toro, on Steel Vengeance, on Air Force One, you have the intensity of just being thrown out of your seat and snap left and right, but you also get that airtime. So I get what you're saying for sure. Yeah, I'm glad the audio got fixed. Sorry about that, guys. I guess he just didn't know I was streaming. Gale Force has a rattle. Okay. Yeah, a lot of rides have rattles. Honestly, for me, I would say that a rattle doesn't bother me if it's just like in the background. Like on Hulk at Islands of Adventure, I'm not like I hate the ride because it rattles. It's just like a little bit annoying. What I don't like is when a ride literally like makes you headbang and hurts. Like I don't like being in pain, you know? So Gale Force has the most intense airtime. You felt more intense than like El Toro and RMCs. Dang, that's crazy, man. That is crazy. You like both styles of rides? Yeah, I remember like a couple months ago, Mike, you were like, airtime matters nothing to me. Airtime is dead to me. I just like intensity. And that's when I was like, man, this guy's just obsessed with i305. That's why. But I mean, it is in your name, so it makes sense. But no, I think balance is very important. Like, that's why the new Intamins and RMCs are so good, because they have these inversions that snap you around and pop you out of your seat. And then they have these airtime moments that pop you out of your seat, and they have these snappy transitions, and I just love that balance. I love the balance of positives and G-forces and all that. So yeah, it's great. It doesn't bother you much. Yeah, same for me. Like honestly, I don't think a rattle's that big of a deal if it's just a rattle. Like the B&M rattle everyone complains about, like Diamondback and stuff like that, I don't even notice it. I live in Virginia, so I'm interested if you like Busch Gardens, Williamsburg, Kings Dominion better. So, Luke, this is what I would say. As a park, the way it's ran, the way it's presented, the way it looks, Busch Gardens, Williamsburg by far is way better. The park is absolutely beautiful. The theming's amazing. The food is great. Love Busch Gardens, Williamsburg. When it comes to the rides, Kings Dominion has the better top two, but I feel like Busch Gardens, Williamsburg has the more balanced ride lineup. So, like, I-305 and Twisted Timbers are both in my top 10. Absolutely amazing. Nothing at Busch Gardens is in my top 10. They're all great rides, but they're not my top 10. But I would say overall, as an entire park, Busch Gardens is probably better, just because the actual experience of the park is better. I don't know. I feel like the employees were friendlier, the areas were really well themed, the music was great, the rides were great. So I would say Busch Gardens Williamsburg, excuse me. But the top two at King's Dominion is pretty elite, for sure. I-305 is your favorite ride, but I still appreciate Ejector. Yeah, well, I'm sure after riding Airy Force, it helped you to appreciate Ejector a little bit. Because this is the thing, is floater airtime is like, kind of like, okay, I'm floating out of my seat a little bit or whatever. But Ejector airtime is actually intense, like you're getting that feeling of G-force, you know? Like, floater airtime is 0G, and that's why it's kind of like, I'm just floating here. But the negative Gs, that's when it's crazy. Like, that's why Goliath is so freaking ridiculous at Six Flags Over Georgia. Because most B&M Hypers just give you that blissful floater, but Goliath just rips you out of your seat and slams you right back down. Like, that is a freaking intense ride. For sure. I see, Rachel. Yeah, so for Steel Vengeance, I remember you telling me, like, you went into it not really knowing what to expect, and you just kind of felt like you were going to fly out of the ride, right? So I can understand for someone who, like, doesn't understand what ejector airtime is, or what airtime is, or what it does to your body, or, like, what the forces are going into that, and that freaking you out and it being horrible, and all the wooden supports and all that. I guess just for an enthusiast who's ridden hundreds of rides, right? For me, it's like, that's what I want. So it's just different, but I get that for sure. If you've had bad experiences with it, I would just say try to give it another chance with an open mind. Just know what you're getting into and brace yourself for it, you know? But yeah, I get that. You hated Steve because he was panicking, but then you loved it. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, if you get in your own head and your own mental state and you freak yourself out, then yeah, that's going to happen with roller coasters for sure. So yeah, honestly, like I've said, I try to go into rides with as little expectations as possible. Like, obviously, people talk about rides and talk about parks and stuff, so it's impossible to just be like, blank slate. I have no expectation for Iron Gwazi. I have no clue what this is. Like, obviously, I know it's going to be a good ride. It has the death roll. It has all that stuff. But, like, at the same time, just go into a ride not expecting it to be horrible and not expecting it to be amazing either. Just go into a ride and be like, I want to experience this ride, you know, and experience what it has to offer. And know that it's safe, because thousands of people ride it every day. Millions ride it over the course of years, so you're gonna be fine. It's gonna be safe, you know, which I know you know all that, but yeah. Unrelated anxiety, yes, dude. Stressful days at parks are the worst. Like when you go with a group of people and someone's angry or something like that, yeah, it sucks. Or if like people want to be selfish and like all split off different ways, like there's a difference between going to a park and being like, oh hey, I don't want to ride that, so I'll wait to the side, versus being like, you guys all have to do exactly what I want to do. Like, I hate that so much. It's a little tough on rough rides because, yeah, for sure, I get you. Well, a lot of restraints just suck too. Like, a lot of restraints aren't made to fit all ranges of people. Like, they're made, especially like restraints made in Europe. Like, a lot of Intamin restraints on older Intamins are not accommodating at all. Like, El Toro's trains are not accommodating, dude. Those things are freaking cramped. I love El Toro. But yeah, I feel like if you were a bigger person and you tried to ride El Toro, that would kind of suck for sure. And RMCs are not accommodating at all. I don't even think the new Intamins are that accommodating. Like, I don't know why they design them that way, but yeah. Oh, pfft. Yeah, that's funny, Rachel. I'm not going to comment on that, but I get what you're saying for sure. Thoughts on Sky Coaster at Fun Spot Kissimmee? Well, you rode it with me, so you know my freaking thoughts. But it was fun. I mean, most roller coasters don't give me a thrill anymore because I've ridden so many dang coasters, you know? And so getting to drop, what was it, like 370, 350 feet out of the air, free fall with just a cable attached was freaking awesome. I had fun. It scared the heck out of me, and I enjoyed it because that doesn't happen. So, yeah, I loved it. It was great. Thank you guys for all the interaction, by the way. I started the stream, and I was worried that, like, no one was going to show up. And all of you guys have showed up, and it means a lot, and I appreciate it. So I am probably going to wrap it up within like 5 to 10 minutes here. We're at 40 minutes right now. Definitely longer than I thought I was going to go, but I'm enjoying it. So any other questions you guys have or anything else you want to say, drop it down right now. I'll respond to all the messages, and then we're going to wrap it up. Because I'm going out to get a steak dinner tonight and see a movie. It's going to be a good time. So, yeah. Let me know if you guys have any other questions or anything else you want to say. I'll wait for a couple minutes here. Pineapple? What's up, Lynn? Sky Coaster is admittedly something you will not do. Yeah, Mike, I wanted you to try it so bad because it's so ridiculous. Thank you so much for being here, Zooters. I don't know if I got Brian here or I got Jimmy here, if I got both of you or all three of you, but whoever's here, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate the support and your encouragement and just being able to be friends with a fellow content creator. Thank you so much for coming and for chatting. It was good to talk to you. I will stream again. This went way better than I expected, so I'm happy with it. Then pineapple apple pen. Do I think Skyrush is overrated? No, I think Skyrush is actually underrated because a lot of people hate on it. It's ridiculous. Have a good night, Luke. Thanks for being here, man. But yeah, no, Skyrush is awesome. Skyrush is absolutely awesome. The drop is freaking ridiculous. It has like a snap halfway down it. So yeah. All right, guys. Well, I think that is going to do it because, yeah, like I was saying, I'm going to go get dinner. Seems like a couple people got to head out. But again, thank you guys so much for supporting the channel, for getting us to 1,000 subs, for watching the videos, for showing up to the stream today, and for commenting. I love you all. I appreciate you guys a lot. I'm just going to keep making video for you guys, keep making content, keep watching, and hopefully we'll just keep growing, and eventually I will be able to do even more because I will actually be able to be supported by it. Like, if I could make money from YouTube, I would be able to go to so many more parks so much more often and record more videos for you guys. So yeah, we're only at 1,000 subs now. Doesn't seem like a lot now, but it's more than most people get to, and I realize that, and I really appreciate it. So thank you guys for all showing up to the stream. Thank you for all the congratulations and all that. And yeah, I will keep it up, Dad. Thank you guys. I love you all. Have a good night. Peace.